Cool, man. Sounds good.
All right, everyone. So, people that are going to be watching this recording, this is going to be about funded accounts. It's going to be specifically about Apex Funding Trader, Funded Trader, and it will be specifically about the $50,000 account that they do offer to traders to do. So, just a quick, brief summary for people that may be a little confused as to what this whole thing's about. Like, is it a scam? Is this legit? Why are these accounts 90% off randomly? Like, how does the company make money when they're giving these accounts out for so cheap to possibly get a $50,000 account to trade for yourself? So I'm going to break down literally from square one all the way until the payout phase and explain along the way why it is difficult for newer retail traders to make this work and why they have to keep paying for a new subscription when they fail the trial in the beginning. So basically, a funded account is literally starting off a paper account given you by a prop firm. A prop firm is literally a corporation that funds traders, basically gives them money if they prove themselves, and you are given this money with set goals made by each individual prop firm. Every prop firm has a different guideline, has different goals, different uh, achievements you have to hit to be given these accounts and to pass phase one and phase two, or some just offer one phase. It all just depends. And like I said earlier, I'm only going to be talking about Apex Trader Funding. There are multiple prop firms. I do not specialize or look into any other ones. This is the only one that I have looked into personally and have my own accounts that I do trade and make money off of. And like I said earlier, every prop firm is different with prices, with guidelines, the policies, everything is different, but I will specifically be talking about Apex on this. Okay, so just to get this started off pretty simply, Apex offers two specific kind of accounts that you can purchase. One of those being a Rithmic slash NinjaTrader, and I believe I can't see the top. I think it's this one. Let's trade over it. Let me go back. There we go. So they offer a Rithmic, which I personally do not use. The reason behind that, I will give my personal preference as to why. With the Rithmic compared to Tradovit, Rithmic, there's not as many correlations to trade mobile. I find it a lot more difficult. You actually have to use the NinjaTrader platform, which I personally have not and will not use. So I cannot answer any questions about that. I do know from just my experience talking to people, if you purchase more than one account on the Rithmic slash NinjaTrader, you can purchase a auto sync trader, which means if you have, let's say, two accounts, you can link those accounts to make one trade that will enter for both accounts at the same time. So you don't have to like switch to your second account after entering on the first one. It's all in sync with one entry for both accounts, and you exit on both accounts. And switching over to the Tradovit, as you can tell, there's a lot of more like compatibility that pops up underneath the description for each account. And like I said earlier, I'm only going to be focusing on the $50,000 account. They do offer up to $300,000 on Apex. Obviously, it will cost more, and the profit goal and the trailing threshold will be different. The reason I favor Tradovit, mobile version is a lot more accessible. It's a lot simpler, I would say, for newer traders to comprehend. If you're unable to sit at home, or say you're out and about, you work a job, you can check your phone, but you can't bring a laptop with you. This is why I recommend this specifically over the Rithmic, only because of the compatibility if you're not at home or if you're busy at work and you have your mobile device on you. Overall, the profit goal and the threshold for the Rithmic or Tradovit 50K account, it's exactly the same. The only difference is just the company that you're trading on. NinjaTrader is with Rithmic, and with Tradovit, you can trade off Tradovit for the desktop or the mobile. Okay, so now breaking down exactly how this works, specifically Tradovit, I will not be speaking on Rithmic, but so a $50,000 account is the only one I'll talk about. I've said that multiple times just so people understand. I will not answer questions about the $100,000 account, $250,000, and so on. The risk to reward for the $50,000 account is the best overall. The profit goal is $3,000. The threshold is $2,500. This gives you room to possibly have a few losses to not blow the account. If I go back to the $25,000 account, profit goal and the threshold are exactly the same. Yes, that's an easier risk to reward compared to making 3,000 and possibly hitting the threshold of 2,500 down, but you have more space to work with on the 50K account. Also realize the max sizing you are allowed when using a 50K compared to $25,000. The profit goal is twice as much, but obviously you have more than twice as much you can size if you prefer to do that, which I don't recommend right away. So maximum size allowed for this account, it's not too big. It's also not too small. It's relatively good overall when correlating the profit goal needed compared to the threshold, which is what will make you lose the account if you lose that much with the $50,000 account. Before purchasing, I recommend making sure you actually see the TradeOvit on the bottom when you click to buy. Without any deals, the $50,000 account is $187 a month for the evaluation phase. So, like I just said, for a normal price, the $50,000 account is $187 a month until you pass the evaluation. If you get the deal, which 90% off is the only time I recommend to people to buy this because you will only pay $18.70 to possibly pass the evaluation compared to paying $187. And now the big question that people always ask me, it's so cheap. How is this company making money? It has to be a scam. You need to realize when anyone sees a deal, I personally think over 50% off, you're drawn to that no matter how good the quality is, how good anything is. It's just natural instinct of a human. Oh my gosh, it's so cheap. Let me try it. Traders that don't understand how to trade, they see this deal and they lose. They know they can size 10 contracts total. They size the max and they hit this threshold maybe within a day. They buy another account. That should open up the eyes as to how this company makes money. Newer traders can't pass the first stage, let alone hit the payment threshold of like, or not threshold, but like the payment requirement to actually pay yourself. Not many people make it that far. Statistically, out of like, say 100 people that apply for this, statistically only about 10 of them pass the first phase. And then out of those 10 people, roughly 2 or maybe even 1 trader actually hit the first payout that they can actually withdraw to their bank account. So that overall will show you this company is making way more than what they're paying people long term. So after buying the TradeOvit 50K account, you'll receive emails with directions as to how to link your account to TradeOvit so you can trade on the mobile or the desktop. It's very simple. The email walks you through it. They even have YouTube videos on the Apex website when you make your account. It's very simple. So step 2, how exactly do you pass the evaluation? What is the evaluation? How can I do this? And explain it to me so I comprehend it on a simple level. So like I was saying earlier, with the 90% off deal, the first payment, like to initiate, is $18.70. If you do not pass the evaluation in the first month and you get a reoccurring payment, you're not paying the $187. You're going to pay $38 a month after the initial purchase until you pass the account. There's no time limit as to when you have to pass. If you don't pass in the first month, it doesn't reset back to $50,000. You just keep going until you hit the profit goal of $3,000, aka hitting the account at $53,000. You pass the evaluation. Criteria to pass outside of the profit goal, you have to make at least 7 days of a trade. So 1 trade in 1 day, 1 trade the next day, that's 2 days. You have to hit 7 of those days before hitting $3,000 in profit. If you have, let's say, 4 trading days and you hit the profit goal, you have to still trade 3 more days to hit that criteria of a minimum of 7 days. There's no maximum amount. You have to like hit it in between. You just need at least 7 days and the profit goal. And obviously you cannot hit the threshold of losing 2,500. You can take literally as long as you want to pass the evaluation. All you have to realize with the 90% off deal, the first payment to get the account is the $18.70. Every monthly occurrence after that is only $38. That's it. There's no hidden fees. There's no like, oh, they scanned me. Oh, they're doing this. Literally, you take as long as you want for evaluation. You just have to trade minimum of 7 days, hit the profit goal, and not hit the threshold. Okay, so what is the threshold? I don't get it. I knew what my threshold was, and for some reason, I still lost my account. Why did I lose my account? This is one thing people don't look into. So we're going to act like you just got the account day one. The account's at $50,000. During your first trade ever, like this is your first ever buy-in on your Tradovit $50,000 account. During the trade, the account reaches $50,250. So you're up $250 while you're still in the trade. You have not sold yet. You are just in the trade. And Alan, you're good, man. I started a little bit early. The stuff that I've talked about, you already know, so there's not much you have to really worry about. And if you want to watch it back, you'll be able to. So no worries. So you're still in the trade, and the account is at $50,250. You're up $250. You actually get out of the trade at $50,100 in your account. So instead of making and selling at $250 profit, you sold for $100 in that trade. So now your account is up $100. Does that make sense? Like, for obviously there's just two of you in here, but like, does that make sense? You were up $250 during the trade, but when you sold, you only made $100. So what this means for threshold now, the threshold goes off of the highest point your account was in during a trade. It's not where you sold. Oh, so I sold, my account's at 50,100. From here, I can't lose 2,500. That is not true. Your threshold is from the highest amount the account was at. So for an example, I love telling people, if you're up $1,000 on the first trade, and can I draw on this maybe? Ooh, I can. Hold up. Let me see if I can figure this out. So say your account goes up to $51,000. You did not sell yet though. Just like for this example. So your account's at 51,000. You sell and get out of the trade. Let's say at 50,200. Your threshold goes off of this amount right here, not where you sold. So even though your account after you sold is at 50,200, your threshold of you cannot lose 2,500 goes off of the $51,000. So you have a very tight way with what you have now. You were up 1,000, but you only sold for $200 profit. Your threshold's not 2,500 from where you currently are. It's from how high you were at during the trade. This is how people lose their account. They look at their account the next day. Okay, so I can risk losing 2,500 when I'm at 50,200. So they're thinking, like this example below. Let's look at this one right here. Let's say from the example above, your account hit 50,250. This is not your threshold. This is your threshold, the 50,250. So at any point, your account cannot drop below 47,750. So many people, and I'm telling you, like, this is how people get, like, they think it's a scam. This is not your threshold. It's literally the highest point during a trade. That is what you have to focus on. This teaches experienced traders take profit. Yes, you're up, let's say 400, but you think you can make more money. Don't hold for more, because if that goes back to break even, your threshold from being up 400 and now being back to break even, technically your threshold from that point on is only $2,100, because you were up 400 at one point. Now you're back to break even. If you sold at break even, this is now your threshold. You have to be very smart and understand long-term how this threshold can affect you. Because if you do break under that threshold, you will automatically get sold out of your position. You just lost your account. There's no like, hey, be careful, you're close. There's no warning. It will literally sell for you and your subscription's gone. You have to restart from the very beginning. How do I go to the next slide? There we go. Oh, no, don't do that. Clear. Yeah, okay. Okay, so the hidden rules that not many people talk about. And I wouldn't say not many people talk about, but it's stuff that when a newer trader sees this 90% off deal, holy crap, let me try to get $50,000 for an $18 purchase. They don't read between the lines in the disclosure, in the documents they sign. In one day, you cannot just hit the profit of $3,000. And then you can't just be like, oh, I'll make $5 for the next 6 days because I need a minimum of 7 days trading. They have a rule where you cannot exceed a 30% profit of the total profit target. So basically, for a $3,000 profit, you can't make $1,000 in a day because you're exceeding the single day limit. It's not showing them that you're a logical trader. You're just trying to hit a home run and then BS the rest of the 5 or 6 days just to reach the minimum trading days. You need to take those base hits. $300 a day, $200 a day. I mean, even $50 a day. Slowly build up so that you don't create this huge gap of a threshold and you don't force yourself into size and heavier when you take a major loss. Many people try and fight the profit to get it back, only digging themselves deeper, closer to that threshold of possibly losing this account. You're literally given an opportunity to be funded a lot of money for nothing. When these 90% off deals hit, as an experienced trader who understands risk to reward, you understand long term, take your time with this. Understand that prop firms, they want to see you make multiple trades that compound to the profit goal. They're not just giving you money because, oh, like, forget it, just here, trade it. They want experienced traders. They want to trust you. Yes, it seems, well, if they trust me, why are they doing 90% off and all these non-experienced traders are coming over here? They know that 90% of those people are not going to reach the first payout. It's an easy revenue gain for this corporation. So they don't care about those people. They know they're not going to pass. So people like us, we got to take this serious. We know how to trade proper. It's so simple. Not one lucky trade on oversizing. That's not what they're looking for. They want to see you consistently make trades, consistently grow the account, taking your time with it. That is not proper trading. It's luck on and hoping. Prop firms love these type of traders because they blow accounts eventually before reaching payout a lot of the time. That's literally free money to Apex from these sign-up fees that people pay. Okay, so step 3, PA funded account, aka once you pass the evaluation, you have 2 choices to get this funded account. So you hit the $3,000 profit goal on the $50,000 account. You hit the 7-day minimum that you need to trade. Now you have 2 choices after passing. You either pay a monthly subscription of $110 a month to keep your funded account in your hands, or you have a second option, which I highly recommend. You pay a lifetime fee of $160 to keep the account. You never pay again. If you want to like say, well, you do technically, okay, you do pay again, but it's like 10 cents every 10 years. I don't consider that another payment for life. So I am just being straight up. You either pay $110 and that's a reoccurring payment. Once you set this specific, let me draw on this real quick. Once you set one of these 2, you cannot change. You're stuck. So you have to be smart. Are you going to take your time with this, making $20 a day, maybe $25 a day, take 3 months to hit this payout possibility with this funded account? Or are you just going to try and BS it and you're not willing to like look long term? I'll just do a monthly subscription. I know I can get the payout in the first month. You're going to rush into trades. I highly recommend only doing this and then take your time. Literally, once you pay this lifetime fee, and I'm going to do the math over here. So hypothetically, let's say you pass the funded account evaluation in 1 month. So you're only paying $18.70 for the first month. After that, you pass. Now you have the choice. Do I want to pay a recurring fee or do I want to pay one time and be done forever? So let's say you pay one time and you're done forever. I got to use my mouse pad. There we go. So literally, if you pay lifetime, I'm not going to put the cents in there, but you get the idea. You're paying $178 to have a $50,000 account forever until you lose it from the threshold. There's no requirement to hit the profit target to pay yourself when you have lifetime. There's no reoccurring fees. There's no hidden agenda that they're going to screw you over. The only way you lose spending this money is if you hit this. It's that simple. So with the PA account, I'm going to clear all these drawings. Profit goal is now $2,600. The threshold is still going to be $2,500. So you don't have to hit $3,000 before the first payout. You just need $2,600. Instead of 7 minimum trading days, you need 10 minimum. Now think about it. If you pay this lifetime fee, why in the heck are you going to rush to hit a profit goal? Think about it. You're guaranteed to keep this account forever until you lose it because of your stupid entries, your stupid trades. You hold on to a loss too long because you're an ego head, you're idiotic, whatever you want to call it. This is literally a free account. Once you pay lifetime, take your time. Don't even worry about this. Focus on hitting this over a 2-month span, 3-month span. Because if you try and do this within the first 2 weeks just so you can pay yourself, this is going to come a lot quicker than that profit goal. That's not a hypothetical guess. That's a guarantee. I am telling you guys. That is how people lose these accounts. They get excited. Holy crap, I just paid lifetime. This account is mine. I'm going to force trades. I'm going to size heavier just so I can pay myself sooner. Good luck getting that profit goal. I'm just going to tell you that now. So payout. How does payout work? I'm going to break this down very slow. If at any point this confuses anyone, let me know. But I'm pretty sure me saying on the last slide, take as long as you want, there shouldn't be any confusion. So there's no time limit. Literally, once you pay the lifetime, you have no time limit on reaching this profit goal. Like, you literally can take a whole year if you want to. They're never going to charge you again for this $50,000 account if you have lifetime. They're never going to email you and say, hey, you haven't traded for 5 months. You have to trade to keep your account active. You don't have to trade. Once you pay lifetime, this account can sit and they will never charge you again. They will never deactivate your account. The only way you lose your account is if you hit the threshold. That is the only way once you pay lifetime. And obviously, if you have a monthly subscription, you're going to be in a rush to hit payout because you don't want to keep paying $110 a month forever. So you're in a rush and you're probably going to lose the account. That is why I recommend lifetime. So you can request a payout 2 times a month between the following dates of each month, the 1st to the 5th, then the 15th to the 20th. During these dates, so hypothetically, we're going to look at January 2024. If you want to get a payout in January of next year, you can only request a payout during these days. That should be very self-explanatory. There's no hidden agenda. That's just how it is. Once you are applicable for a payout, you have to hit this goal. And obviously going off, let me switch back to the previous slide. Minimum of 10 trading days. Profit goal is 2,600. You can't hit the threshold. This goes into when you hit the first payout. So once you reach 52,600, not exactly just over that amount with 10 trading days in your belt, once one of these dates pops up, so say during the 1st and the 5th of next month, you're only 7 days in. When the 7th of January hits and you pass this goal, you can't request a payout until the 15th or the 20th in between those days. Once those days hit, if you are still above the profit goal of 52,600, you have to request a payout, minimum $500 per account. The maximum withdrawal per account is $2,000 only for the first 3 months. Now, here's the part that a lot of people, they don't really read into. And this is, I'm going to explain this to an advantage, more so how it could affect you. Yeah, Alan. So this is specifically for Apex. This is different for the $100,000 account on Apex. It's different for the $25,000 account. I'm only going to be talking about the $50,000 account for Apex. And the beginning of the video, if you watch it back, I explained as to why I'm doing this specifically. Every prop firm has different rules. Even different accounts on Apex have different rules. And everything is set in tone on the website if you want to look into that. There's nothing hidden from people. They just don't read into stuff. So going back to, like, you hit the profit goal, you're 10 days in trading. Now it's between the 15th and the 20th. You have to request a withdrawal, minimum $500. Now listen, this is the part that people don't realize, and I'm breaking this down in a way that will make you feel a lot more comfortable, because many people don't really think about it this way. So let's say you only get the account I say only like it's nothing, but say you get the account to 53,000 and it's we're going to say January. Ignore my writing. I'm doing my best. Oh wait, my screen's touch. I'm over here tripping. So, and it's January, let's say 17th. This may be a weekend. I don't know. I'm just going off dates so you guys understand. So January 17th, you have to request a minimum $500. So if you take out 500, you get paid. Your account is left with 52,500. If you take out 2,000, and I'm going to change the color on this so I can put a little line here. Say you take out $2,000. Now your account is going to be at 51,000. This is the part many people don't prepare for or they don't read about because they're so focused on, holy crap, $50,000. I can pay 18. They don't read between the lines. After your first payout, your threshold is forever stuck at this amount. This amount right here after the first payout will never change as your threshold. So if you only withdraw $500, you have a $2,400 threshold until you lose the account if you lose. If you withdraw the maximum you can, which is $2,000, your account's at $51,000, your threshold only $900. So many people hit the first payout, they take out the maximum because it's like, holy crap, I just paid myself $2,000 and I barely put money in to get this account. They don't realize they have a very tight down draw. If they have a loss, they could lose this account so easily. I recommend only withdrawing the minimum for the first 2 months, maybe even the first 3 months. Keep that threshold as wide as possible so you're calm when you trade. You're not forcing wins to get out of that like $500 till you lose your account. Always withdraw the minimum right away. If you grow your account to like 55,000, yeah, take out 2,000 for the first payment because you're still left with $53,000 in your account. That's amazing. But if you're barely at the profit goal you need, do not take out the maximum. Play it safe. Think long term. Always think long term. You just got a free $50,000 account basically. Always keep that in your head. So I have 10 minutes till this meeting ends. I'm going to fly through this now. After the third month, there's no limit that you can withdraw. Your threshold stays the same though. So let's say on the fourth month, your account's at $70,000. Your threshold's still at 50,100. You can withdraw 10,000. You can withdraw 20,000. Well, no, if you withdraw 20, you're below the threshold. So you can't withdraw down to this number. So logically, leave a good gap. Only take out 10,000. If you take out 15,000 from this 70, guess what? You still have $4,900 as your threshold. Leave room for losses. Don't get a big head and think, I just want to pay myself. Okay, I'm going to have to fly through this now. I do got a little bit left. If it does end, I'll just restart the meeting, but I'll see if I can fly through this. So you have macros and micros. For the macros, I'm just going to circle and explain. You guys can go back and listen. So for the S&P, which is SPY, also SPX, whatever you want to call it, that's what this is. For every 0.25 move on the S&P for a macro, you are going to make or lose $50 per tick. So for every 1 point move, you will make or lose $50. So every 0.25, you're making or losing $12.50. And then NASDAQ, same thing, correlation. For every 1 point move, you make or lose $20. I trade these micros because I can size in. It's less. It's literally a divisible by 10. So just like the same example above, this is SPY. And then this is obviously the NASDAQ, which is NQ. It's just divisible by 10. For every 1 point on this, you make or lose $5. For every 1 point on this, you make or lose $2. I recommend micros. That's just me. Okay. I'm going to make this quick too. So this is the mobile version of Tradovit. I'm going to try and do this as quick as possible. I can even talk about this later if I need to. When you sign in to Tradovit on your mobile device, you go to the market setting, you find whatever, whether it's ES, MES. ES is macro of the S&P, MES is the micro, which is what I trade. So when you double click on this with your finger on your phone, this is what will pop up, is the order block ladder. When making an order on the ladder, you can literally enter on market and sell on market. So basically, this right here is like going calls, aka upside. This right here is like going puts, aka downside. If you want to enter ASAP, you click one time, you're in one lot, aka one contract. For the micro, if you enter one call side, every 1 point move is only $2. If you enter the micro on ES, which is S&P, every 1 point move is only $5. If you play the macro, it's a multiple of 10. Now I'm going to move on to the next one. This may be the last slide, actually. I think it is. Okay, so that's the last slide. In the last few minutes, is there any questions real quick? I have about 6 minutes and 30 seconds left, and I do want to try and pull up the desktop version if I can get that up in time. So let me know if there's anything from the last few slides. Is there anything you want me to touch back up on real quick? Outside of how to use platforms like Tradovit Desktop, Tradovit Mobile, everything I just explained to you from these previous, this is all that really matters, from like how to pass the evaluation, what's the best choice when you decide if you want to, where's that, pay for the funded account. This is the most important stuff. There's YouTube videos on how to use the desktop and the mobile. So I can make a whole nother class explaining how to use that stuff if you guys want me to do that. The desktop can be a little confusing. The mobile is very, I don't want to say simple, but once you understand how to maneuver yourself from the market area, from where my mouse is right now, you double click with your mouse or your finger on your phone, and it will open up the ladder. From here, you enter with market. So you literally click one time, you're buying in calls that quick. You want to get out of the whole position, you click cancel all, the order sells right away. It's that simple. If you want to set a limit order, so say you want to go short and the price is down here, so you expect a push upside to hit your sell limit, which means you're going in puts, you're looking for more downside. You literally click and hold your finger on the ladder, and this will pop up. You click again, it will show you a check mark. You enter the position as a limit. So your limit is set. You're waiting for the price to reach your limit to short. Once that price hits, you are now in your position as a short, which means you make money if it goes down. If it continues to go up, if you want to get out ASAP, you click cancel all. That's all you do. One click, in and out. If you want to do buy market, you click in, you're in ASAP. You want to get out right away, you click cancel, you're out right away. It's literally one finger. There's no like, are you sure you want to enter this? Are you sure you want to sell? One click, you're in. One click, you're out. That's why I like this mobile on Tradovit way much better than NinjaTrader. It's a lot more confusing. So when looking at the overall perspective of, I'm going to go back real quick to one of the first slides. The reason I recommend the $50,000 account, sizing gives you leverage if you want to use it. When you trade macros, you can only size 10 macros on the $50,000 account. That is your max sizing allowed. If you play micros, as you know, it's a multiple of 10 of the macro. You can do 100 total. When I personally trade, and I'm going to find a more open area to draw. I got about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. When I trade, I use, come on, finger. There we go. Micro. So I always enter 1 to 2 contracts every entry. As the consolidation hits, as I see the move unfold, I can size into micros. Say I have 7 contracts total. I'm still size less than 1 macro. So does that make sense why I trade micros? I'm able to size light and slowly accumulate into my position. If I trade only one macro, that's the same as sizing 10 micro contracts. And I don't want that stress. I mean, literally, if you think about it, clear that. Next slide. If I buy one macro of the ES, aka SPX, aka SPY, 1 point move is $50. We've seen S&P move 10 points within 2 to 3 minutes. That's a $500 move before you can even react. If I size into the micro of the S&P, say I get one contract, 1 point move is only $5. That's not scary at all. And I can size into the position as that consolidation hits, as the chart forms. When you trade futures, your entry never changes. If I enter, let's go back to the S&P example. I got a minute and 50 seconds. If I enter SPX at, I'm going to use an even number just so it's easier to comprehend. Let's say 4,600. And I go call side, aka upside. This is my entry forever until I sell. So like there's no time decay. There's no like theta. There's none of that. It's the same as buying and selling shares. My entry on the S&P, aka the ES, is always going to be 5,600. So if this moves up, and I got 1 minute left, if this moves up to 46.10 and I have one macro, that is a $500 gain. It's that simple. So the recording's about to end. That's basically a quick overview. I'll have this posted very soon after this is over with. I will do more videos on how to work through the desktop version of Tradovit. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I'll talk in the Discord after this if there's any questions.